What's up, everyone? Today we have this Honda HR215. Owner said he has to fill the tank maybe once every 2 mows, and he noticed the tank was a little low before he started mowing. Put a little fuel in the tank, mowed for about 5 minutes or so, and then stopped. So brought it to me and couldn't get it started again. Brought it to me, so I'm thinking one of two things: either water or bad fuel. I asked him how old the fuel can was, and he said he thought it was pretty new. So maybe he left it outside, condensation, who knows. But I'm thinking water. But before we go down that rabbit hole, let's take a look at the fuel level. Maybe it's just out of gas. Maybe he thought he did. Got a phone call. Who knows? Interesting. Oh my god, I think I smell something weird. You can't tell what it is, so I'll let you in on the secret. This is a gasoline motor. While it's not very full, in fact, it's pretty much empty, I smell diesel. So I think what they did is they realized their mistake, took the gas out of the tank, or the diesel, but the diesel made its way into the carb, and now it's not wanting to leave the carb because, well, it's diesel and it can't be burned, at least not in this engine. So looks like we're going to take the carb off. Let's go ahead and get started. I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened where diesel was put in there, but it's not. Well, hold on there. Over 90% of you, according to YouTube, are not currently subscribed. You're watching this video, but you're currently not subscribed. So I'm going to welcome you to subscribe at the end if this helped you out. I work in a lot of machines, so maybe the machine you're watching is going to be something you own, but who knows? Maybe you own a generator, a pressure washer, a big mower, a chainsaw, a variety of things. The only way to know if I'm going to fix it in the future is by subscribing, and maybe I get to the one that you own and can help you out then too. So I welcome you to subscribe, put a thumbs up if it does help you out. Back to your normal video. It's not too common, but it's not uncommon either. Let's take these off. You don't necessarily need to take this off, but it's going to make our life a lot easier. So I'd rather spend a little time and be a little less frustrated. You know what I mean? Air filter's not too bad. Now we have a little bit of working room. Let's go ahead and take some stuff off, shall we? There is a drain on here, and we very well could use it. The problem is the drain isn't on the bowl itself, but why don't I just realize what is on the bowl itself? A bowl nut. But the problem is I don't really have anything that's going to be super convenient. So we have two options. We can continue the route that we're going, or we can do what I think is probably going to be the easier of the two options. Let me explain why. This is an old machine. There's gaskets involved. Every time you remove a carburetor, the likelihood of you damaging the gasket is pretty high the older it gets. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a 10 mil and undo the the bowl nut. Hopefully that should be the end of it. What we're gonna do, okay, good. I was like, I know this is a 10 millimeter. Oh yeah, that's diesel, right? Put the towels down so we can have something to absorb it. This bowl isn't very full. Okay. So now that it's emptied, we're going to tighten it. Not that way, we're not. Ugh. Oh man, I hate diesel. I understand the need for diesel, I just don't like working on them. Or anything to do with the fuel. It just smells horrible. Let's go ahead and put those back on. And if we need to take it off, we can. This is just our first attempt. But I'm going to put you down. I'm going to put, we'll put the air filter on. So, for those of you who are unaware, diesel and gasoline, while yes, are both fuels, they are not the same, obviously. But here's the thing about it. Gas cars that have diesel put into them, I'm talking cars, and this too, it's really not that big of a problem. Like, you're going to have to clean out your whole fuel system, injectors if you have them, and stuff like that. But how diesel ends up working, it takes the heat and the compression and uses that to ignite. It doesn't have a spark plug. So you take gasoline and put it in a diesel engine, that's where you come into real big problems. You have something called pre-ignition, spark knock. Well, now there's a bunch of different terms for it. And that, whatever you want to call it, none of it's good. You can just destroy your engine. Pistons are gone, all kinds of bad things. So I'm gonna go ahead, put you down, put some more fuel in here, and we'll see what happens. Diesel 101. Diesel has a lot more energy per gallon, but the thing about that is it's also not nearly as volatile as gasoline. So they have their own benefits, especially if you live in a cold climate. You will understand what the benefit of not having a diesel is. But if you don't have to worry about that, then that's fine. But here's another thing about that. Diesel is usually more expensive. Where is my gas can? Anyway, it's usually more expensive. So unless you need it, there's no point of using it, obviously, since a gas engine can't run on it. But when comparing, do I need to get a diesel? Consider what you're using it for. Because diesels, I'm sure I'm going to grab hate for this, are not as easy. They're more expensive to repair, more expensive to run, per se. So, oil changes are more expensive. Vehicles, you have to have special fluids. It's all kinds of stuff. So, let's turn it on choke. And we're waiting. Is it leaking? Can't tell. I don't know if that's from me draining it or if it's actually leaking. Let's take a towel. Make sure it's nice and dry down there. Oh, wait a moment. Ooh, that was beautiful. But anyway, yeah. So diesel 101 has a lot more energy, a lot less volatile, so it's able to be used in a higher compression engine. Gasoline, less energy, much more volatile, but you're able, it's just easier. So, pick your poison. There we go. I think we'll give it a pull. great. So, what did we do here today? We removed diesel from a gasoline lawnmower. Now, obviously, they removed the diesel from the tank, and it was pretty much dry. I didn't see anything wet in there when we were looking at it. It's hard to see with the camera because there's lighting, but it was dry. If it was not dry, still remove the cover, but you can just remove the line. And especially if you have like a fuel filter or anything else, you're going to want to remove that too. But if you do have a fuel filter or a shutoff, then what you're going to want to do is take it off that. That would just make it a little easier that you don't have to rip off the fuel line from the car. But yet again, we're trying to avoid having to touch an old gas can and ruin it. And then drain the tank. Blow it out, get it nice and dry. It doesn't have to be 100%. It's not like it's water where it's going to cause a big problem. If there's a little bit of diesel, I remember seeing that you could run something like this, like 30% or 40% diesel, and it would still run. Not be very good for it, obviously, but it would still run. So if you left a little bit in there, it's not the end of the world. But drain it, drain the bowl, remove the bowl nut, not the drain. We didn't even have to remove it. We just loosened it, and you press up on the bowl, and that kind of allows the fuel to basically the bowl nut still has a little bit of a seal, and you're just kind of pushing the bowl out of the way, and just drains. Once it's done, put gas in it, you're ready. So, quick little video. Obviously, I thought this was going to be a lot more complicated, but I was expecting water. Who would have guessed it was diesel? I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram as SmallEngine101. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. If you like what you see, put a thumbs up. That helps me out. If you have any questions about removing fuel, whether it be diesel or bad fuel from a mower, definitely leave a comment below. If you have any other questions, feel free to become a member. One of the perks is personalized help, and I'll be happy to help out. I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that. Have a good night.